today's video, we are going to talk about alignment, how to find out whether or not you are aligned with your soul and you're heading towards your divine life path or your divine manifestation. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I highly suggest you, I'll probably pin it over here, to watch my latest videos where I talk about the difference between manifesting from programming of society, we could say the ego, but it's just way more than that, and manifesting things that are aligned with your soul and your divine path. Mind you, huge disclaimer before you go on the comment section and be like, this is a limiting belief, I can manifest whatever it is that I want and nobody should tell me what I should manifest. I agree with you. So stop right there. I agree with you, and I am a living proof that you can manifest anything that you want, and no, you do not have any limits. God has not limitation, and God is you and lives in you. You can literally manifest even coming from the ego. You can manifest everything that you want, and I will never change my mind on that because I can only teach coming from my personal experience, and in my personal experience, I did prove that you can manifest exactly what you affirm for, visualize for, regardless of what your soul wants. So you do you. I am never going to tell you what you should or shouldn't manifest. Mine is just a suggestion, like an older sister coming from my personal experience. When you do manifest, as Florence Scovel-Shinn will put it, if you guys don't know who Florence Scovel-Shinn is one of my favorite author of manifestation, law of attraction, law of assumption. When you do manifest, or even Vadim Zeland in Reality Transurfing says the same thing. When you do manifest your divine plan, it is a lot easier and it is not a limitation, and it ends up making you feel much more fulfilled in your life in general. It aligns perfectly and things smooth really easily for you. And it has been the experience for thousands of people on the web saying, yes, I did manifest exactly what I thought I wanted, but when I went for what is aligned for me, I generated so much more happiness for myself and the people around me. And so that's what we were talking about today. And today's video is inspired by one of the questions that I received in the comment section, where they asked me, but how do I find out if I am aligned? Like, how do you manifest coming from alignment? So I do want to answer this specific question, and today's video is not theory, but it's very practical. We're going to do exercise together. So by the end of this video, so watch until the end, you're going to know exactly what to do. And obviously, like I said, this is what works for me. Try it to see if it works for you. Remember that God lives within you and you are your own personal guru. You can only take inspiration from YouTube videos or from other people, but at the end of the day, you have to find what works for you, because that is what is going to stick. For those of you guys who don't know me, hi, hello, my name is Naya, and on this channel, I post what I'm inspired, especially my spiritual journey, manifestation concepts, and so much more. If you're interested in this sort of videos, I do make extra weekly videos. You even find my old catalog in there on my Patreon, where we also have a community that supports one another through a chat. You can chat with me, you can chat with other people in the community, and it's a wonderful community full of kind-hearted souls that help one another with their manifestation and their spiritual journey. So I highly suggest you to participate to the Patreon. The link is down below. And if you guys will ever need a reading from me, whether it is a numerology reading, a tarot reading, or any guidance or coaching or whatever like that, you can head on to my website, nayavisions.com. All the links are down below. That will direct you to my Etsy shop. It's a new shop where you guys can purchase stuff for me if you need it. You can put reviews, you can do whatever you want. I just created it because it's a lot easier for me to handle through the Etsy shop, and you can access it through the nayavisions.com, and you can even receive, if you sign up to the newsletter, a free meditation to help you out with your alignment. So all down below. End of the story. Okay, you guys, so let's talk about alignment. The first thing that I will want you to do, since we're making practical steps, is step number one: take a piece of paper or your manifestation journal, whatever it is that you want, and a pen. Now, I always say to people, you do not have to have the answers right now to everything. The only thing that you need to do is to ask yourself the right questions. Your mind is incredible. Your mind, through focused attention, expands whatever you focuses upon. So when you ask the right questions, your mind and your spirit will come with solutions, even though they might not be instant. But if you ask the right questions, your mind will literally direct you through actions and people or experiences that will deliver the questions and solutions that you're looking for. It's a little bit that term that says, if you're looking for God, you're going to find God everywhere you go. So whatever you focus upon, you're going to find. If you're looking for problems or you're asking the wrong questions, that is what your mind is going to generate. So we want to ask the right questions to our soul. And also, this is very connected and tied to when you ask, it is given, which we're going to talk about in step number 3, because I'm also going to give you affirmations to align you to your divine life path. I got all figured out. Don't worry. Stick around. So step number 1, piece of paper and a pen. Now do this exercise. You can listen to me right now and do the exercise later, or you can do while I'm talking. That's fine. But do this exercise without any expectation or pressure on yourself. Just give yourself those 10 minutes of reflection that are really, really needed to ask the right questions. So if I were to do this right now for myself, and I did it recently actually to decide what to do with my life, where to go, etc. I've always done this. So I would take the piece of paper and I would just write down, what is it that I want? What is it that I want? Let's say that I don't know. And what I want to manifest in my specific case is clarity, because I've tried things before and I got what I wanted, but I'm not really sure if this is really in alignment with my soul. So what is it that I really want at this point? Clarity. So I would say, I want clarity. And I will just stare at the page. And then I will ask myself, what clarity feels like for me. And everyone is gonna have different opinions, different ideas of what clarity looks like. You could even ask, I want money. I want this specific amount of money, or I want love, or I want this specific person, right? Whatever it is that you want, just be honest with yourself and write it down. And then ask yourself how this specific thing that I want feels like, what it means for me. For some people, for example, clarity feels like freedom. It feels like peace. It feels like relief, and or money feels like freedom, whatever it is. So now that we have nailed down the feeling that is beyond whatever specific thing that we want, the other question is, how can I bring this feeling into my day-to-day life, even if I don't have this thing at the moment? And you write down whatever feels right for you. And then another question that I want you to ask yourself is, why do I want what I want? Most of the time, we don't ask this question. We just say, I want what I want because I want it, or because I will feel better when I have it. Why do you want what you want? Is it because your parents told you that you should desire this level of freedom? Is because society is pressuring you to have kids or to be in a certain way? If you are a content creator, why do you want the number of followers you want? Do you want it because other people pressured you to have it, or because it's a genuine desire that comes from, I want to be seen, I want my message to be spread? Whatever it is, why do you want what you want, and where this desire is genuinely coming from? Is it coming from, like, does it feel coming from the heart? Does it feel it comes from the head, or both? Does it come from a sense of lack or fear of societal expectations? Ask yourself these questions. And in there, just by answering these questions, even throughout the days as you ponder those questions, you will realize where those desires come from. For example, when I wanted to be viral online, mind you that you can have whatever it is that you want. But then I ask myself, do I really want to be viral, or do I want to build communities that resonate with me regardless of whether I'm viral online or not? why do I want this virality? And I answer myself, I was manifesting virality because I was trying to feel like I was good enough. If the more followers I get, the more views I get online, the more I can show my dad, look, dad, I'm successful, because that's what I'm supposed to be, right? I already have a weird career. I'm supposed to show numbers, so I'm good enough. When I let that go, because I realized that it was a pendulum that was leading me to feeling even more stuck, auto-sabotage myself, or just generally it was an egregore, a thought form that came from my dad expectations of me and kept me very limited in my expression. And that's my personal story. I'm not saying that it's the same for you. That's my personal story. I realized maybe it's not really about the numbers that I am seeing on the screen. So I shifted my focus from I need to go viral and affirming for virality, which I manifested, but turned out didn't really make me happier in any way. Then I shifted to maybe what I want is community. Maybe what I want is a feeling of belonging, feeling that I'm actually helping other people, a feeling of authenticity. And when I directed my focus towards this particular feeling and desire, things started to happen a lot easier for me. And I felt like regardless of the numbers that I saw on the screen, whether they were high or they were low, I was really attracting the right people for my community. And I never felt happier and more proud of what I'm posting right now and the type of people that I'm attracting. I feel that right now my Patreon and my channel not only are in alignment with me in the present moment, but I feel a great sense of peace and relief for the type of people that interact with me. It's very, very peaceful. And that made me happier than seeing hundreds of views on the screen. And that's my personal story. So it's to really realize where your desires are coming from and how to fulfill your needs in a way that produce feelings of the actual outcome that you want to experience, whether it is freedom, happiness, relief, peace, whatever. So that is step number 1, to understand how to find if you are in alignment with your desire. Step number 2 might be a little bit more controversial. If you are if you're not spiritual at all, you can totally skip this step, as this either resonates with you or it doesn't, but it really did help me out. So listen to me. What I do use divination, and I have a success story to share that it came so synchronistically, and that is another sign of alignment, because I was thinking about talking about the steps of using divination to understand what desires are in alignment for you. But at the same time, I don't want this step to feel like I'm limiting you guys, because I do feel and I do believe that you are in control of your destiny no matter what the tarot will say, no matter what your astrology chart or numerology chart says. But these tools can be extremely helpful when we don't use them to predict necessarily the future, but we use them to understand our true nature and our true essence. When we follow our true nature and true essence and the karmic lessons that come with that, that is a sign of alignment. And these tools, the numerology chart, the divinations, can really help us out meditating, understanding those personal archetypes, and really follow our North Star, our alignment. And the synchronicity was that as I was thinking to explain this, I got a success story from one of my old clients that she basically took the course that I did years ago on the psychic school. And in that particular course that was live, I was teaching people how to connect with these divination tools, how to use them, but especially how to use them to manifest. And she was one of my students, and I just want to share what she wrote to me, because her success story comes from years of practicing this. So 3 years later from taking that course, she texts me when I'm going to show you, and that's why I want to share it. So let's talk about step number 2. My suggestion would be to just look at either the tarot, if you can do it for yourself, or better, If you can look into numerology, I think it would be the best bet for you guys because it's less complicated than the tarot and astrology. So if you would calculate your numerology chart, which by the way, numerology is an ancient pseudoscience that was created by Pythagoras after his visit to the ancient Egyptians in Egypt, because they were using it and he basically elaborated from their knowledge and created numerology in the way that we know it today, because he was a huge believer that numbers are the language of the universe, and therefore, as above so below, if the universe is constructed through numbers, we can read our nature, our blueprint as souls through numerology, through numbers, because numbers contain a vibration and an essence to them, and they are everywhere. So essentially what happens when you do calculate your numerology chart, you got three numbers that I think are extremely important. Now, I'm not going to explain in this video how to calculate your numerology chart. I will do it on my Patreon, link down below this week. But if you do want a reading about your numerology chart, I do offer now numerology readings because I'm super passionate about them. But essentially you can do this by yourself. I will highly suggest you to look specifically for your ruling number, or also called the destiny number, which might not resonate with you immediately. That's fine if you don't resonate. Hold on tight. Then second number, the expression number, which is the number that will resonate with you the most. And then I will look also into your subconscious number, because that will give you access to your personal way to manifest, because manifestation comes from the subconscious. So when you understand how your subconscious mind works, which is different for everyone, and numerology can give you access to that, then it is easier for you to realize whether, I'll be better affirming, I'll be better visualizing, not because there is a better technique than the other, but there are better techniques for you because they work better with your subconscious and the way your mind operates. So what happens in step number 2, we are trying to understand our energetic blueprints, for example, through numerology. I give you my personal example so it makes sense. If I can, I will even post like my numerology chart over here so you guys can see it. In my numerology chart, I have a ruling number 4. I never resonated with this number because number 4 is about structure, stability, building foundations, and doing things in a very structured, safe, organized way. It's the master builder. And I was like, I'm into spirituality, like I'm all chaotic and stuff. Like, how is that gonna be my destiny? It didn't make sense initially when I read it, but now it does, and I'll tell you why. Then my expression number, my soul number is number 7, which is the number of the spiritual teacher, the mystic, and much more than that. I'm just trying to be short. So, and then I have something in my numerology chart that is called the arrow of determination, which makes me a master manifestor in a way naturally, because I'm very, very focused and determined. More, I need to explain much more than that, but just to keep it brief. So, and my subconscious number is number 7. So it's about imagination and stuff. And I'm very creative. So how that all plays out? Well, clearly my path is to teach spirituality through my own personal experiences. Number 7. I also have a number 11 in my chart and a 99. So that all makes sense, but the way that I have to do it, it's in a grounded, structured way. I need to create communities that make sense. So yeah, okay, all good and fine to talk about spirituality, but Naya, tell me how to do it. What are the steps? And through my personal experience, ground them in a structured way so people can learn from that and can actually make those practical steps. That's why when I created a psychic school, which was a course that I was doing live consistently all the time, teaching one-on-one people, it was a huge success because that was a structured community which resonates with my life path number 4. It's a lot deeper than that, but what am I trying to say with the step number 2? If you do want to understand the lessons that you have and how to be aligned with your soul, which doesn't mean that you cannot manifest out of alignment. Like I said, you can manifest whatever it is that you want. Don't make me repeat it. But if you want to manifest coming from alignment, looking at those charts and understanding your natural essence, it is extremely helpful for you, and divination can provide you with that guidance. That's why it's been popular for so many years. You can also look at the astrology chart. I do offer also that through the Soul Project, or any other astrologer can do that for you guys, but it's a bit more complex. I feel numerology is a lot it's a lot easier and beginner friendly for a lot of people, and personally I resonate with it a little bit more. Now I want to share why I do feel, what are the results of one of my clients that has used divination plus manifestation to get what she wanted, and her success story. So she wrote me a very long message on Instagram, and she said, out of the blue today, hi, I've been wanting to share how insane my last few years have been. I have manifested so many things that I thought were out of my league. Most importantly, I got accepted into my dream university and major event. I did not have the required pre-education. Guys, and then I passed every single class 1 try because I focused on manifesting good grades. And then I got accepted into a double bachelor program, even though, again, I didn't qualify. Doesn't matter, because circumstances don't matter, especially when you're coming from alignment. I literally just asked for an exemption, and they gave me the exemption. And now I'm looking for an apartment in this city, and within 2 weeks I'm already getting offers. Last night I dreamed of the perfect place, so I know I will get my dream place soon. I don't think any of this would have been possible if I hadn't taken your course. Just wanted to share and thank you again. I am so happy for you if you're watching this video. I was about to cry when I saw this message. It was so in synchronicity with the video that I wanted to make. And it is amazing how she remembered the course that she took and all of that she wanted unfolded in 3 years, which is a long time, but it all came. And she does use tarot and she does use divination in order to understand and to find motivation and alignment, plus the manifestation techniques, because I taught her this, not because I'm special or anything, but it's like in the course that we were doing, that's exactly what we were doing. We were using divination for alignment and then affirmation for manifestation, and together one brings alignment, inspiration, and motivation, even support from spirit, and another one brings focus, determination, and together you manifest. That has been my experience, and I really love that I could share these success stories with you guys. So that would be my step number 2, is to use divination for inspiration, motivation, and alignment, literally. Step number 3, affirmations. I will never, and to be honest, a little parenthesis, and I know that my hater on Reddit, they will be like, oh my God, they will detest me for saying this. But guys, manifestation works for me in a way or another, and I will never deny it. I am sorry it didn't work for you, and you guys are so hateful, but that is my experience. And and there is nothing wrong to help people and to offer a service. I did coaching myself. I spent $150 on Sammy Ingram coaching. And to be frank, I will be forever freaking grateful to her. Even though we might not agree with everything, because we are obviously 2 different human beings and we do have different ways of teaching the law, I will be forever grateful for what she did for me and to be my mentor. And I will never renounce the gratitude that I feel for that coaching. And yes, I did pay for it. I did pay $150 back then. And to be frank, considering how much it helped me and how much it transformed my life, I thought it was cheap. So there you go. Yes, you can offer a service while you're helping other people, and there is nothing wrong with it. If you feel hateful about it, it's your problem. So you see, sometimes when you take a leap of faith and you take any course, it doesn't have to come from me or from Sammy or from anyone on YouTube. You can go to Joe Dispenza, you can do it yourself, you can read books, you can do whatever you want. But sometimes investing in yourself, it's not a bad thing. It actually does produce results. And sometimes investing in yourself is just a matter of buying a book. And that's all that is to it. Doesn't matter. Everybody finds their own way. So that's my step number 2 in parentheses. Step number 3, affirmations. Now, I tried, as you guys know, I constructed my own affirmations. I tried Neville Goddard visualizations. Everything works. I made a video about it, you guys know. But the ones that stick to my heart will be forever the Florence Scovel affirmations. And so if you want to understand whether or not your manifestation is in alignment, or if you are generally in alignment, Florence has an answer, and you're going to find it in the book, Your Word is Your Wand, chapter the divine design. Now, I'm not going to read the entire chapter for you guys. So probably I can do that on Patreon. But essentially, in this chapter, Florence is saying that there is a divine design for each man, just as the perfect picture of the oak is in the acorn. The divine pattern of his life is in the superconscious mind of the man. I'm the divine design. There is no limitation, only health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. So basically, she's saying when you do align with your soul, with the divine design, which doesn't mean that you're limiting yourself. It's the opposite, you guys. When you expand and you realize that you're protected, you're loved, and you do deserve all the abundance, and God wants to give to you what will make you the happiest, you are stepping away from limitation and you're becoming unlimited. Not everybody wants to get it. That's fine. Everybody is at a different stage, and I accept that. But that's what she's saying. It's the opposite of being limited when you align to the divine design. And so basically, when you do align with the divine design, and because whatever it is that you ask for, you always get, when you formulate the affirmations in the right words, your word are your wants, you're going to get exactly what you ask for. But in this case, we're not just going to manifest specifically what we want. We are going to leave the door open to God to deliver what is really in alignment with us. And this is one of the best way to find alignment, is to ask for it. That's it. Then there are nuances to this. You can have opposite results sometimes, because that is part of the process of get you into alignment, and that is called the law of preparation. I talked about it on my Patreon, so if you want to go more in depth about this topic, you can go ahead and click on my Patreon link. But generally speaking, those are the affirmations. I will just give you a few, not because you have to repeat precisely these affirmations, but just to give you a general idea of what you could ask for. So take your pen and piece of paper, as I said before, and trying to get into metabolize these affirmations. Like I said, you don't have to repeat them exactly the same, but it gives you an idea on what to ask for. So one of the affirmation would be, what is mine by divine right can never be taken from me. What is divinely yours can never be taken away from you. There is no fear, there is no limitation. God's perfect plan for me is built upon a rock. God will never take away your love, the love of your life, will never take away the money that truly belongs for you, the sense of community, safety, and peace, because you are God's child. God wants the best for you. And there are loads of programming in this world that will tell you the opposite, that God doesn't care about you, that everything is shoot or whatever. It's not true. God wants the best for each and every one of us. That's it. That is the real, that spiritual truth. I follow the magic path of intuition, your gut feeling that tells you exactly if you are in alignment or not. If you learn how to listen, I can make a separate video about that, and find myself in a promised land under grace. I give thanks that I now bring forth from the universal substance everything that satisfies all the righteous desires of my heart. The divine design of my life now comes to pass. I now feel the place that I can feel and no one else can feel. I now do the things which I can do and no one else can do. All doors now open for happy surprises, and the divine plan of my life is speeded up under grace. So this can give you an idea of what to ask for. Specifically ask for your divine plan. Ask for, I see no limitation. God is unlimited, and therefore I am unlimited. I am the son or the daughter of the king. Therefore, I am entering the promised land. Everything comes to me under divine grace. The wheel of destiny has turned, and now everything comes my way. You're calling forth the substance of God. And when you do this, specifically through the power of your words, of your affirmation, there is no way that you're going to manifest something out of alignment, because you're asking for it. You're asking for alignment. It's that simple. It's no more complicated than that. So in step number 1, we have a little bit of shadow work and introspection just to bring forth a little bit of clarity and logic to your desire. In step number 2, we understand through divination our essence and natural desires. And in step number 3, through the power of the word, through the power of affirmation, we specifically ask for alignment, having faith that whatever we ask for, it is always given. And this is my take on how to find what is aligned for you. Let me know in the comment section down below, how do you feel about it? And I hope you like the new direction of the channel so far. I also remind you that I do post collective tarot reading and monthly readings. So they are just energy readings, so not necessarily specific predictions through the tarot and my tarot channel on Naya Tarot. So subscribe to that as well on Patreon. Loads of extra content in a community, and all my services are on nayavisions.com that will direct you to my Etsy shop. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.